Deep in the heart of Africa, in a land of dense tropical forests, lived a farmer, his wife, and their 9 children, all trying to live a peaceful life. But they were to come face to face with the violence sweeping vast portions of their country. This is the story of Justin Sandamo and his family. Just a few of some 1 million victims affected by years of raging conflict and crushing poverty. But in order to understand their story, one must first understand their homeland, the Central African Republic. This nation of 4.3 million people has seen staggering political instability, with 11 coups and mutinies in just 10 years. In 2005, bloody rebellions in the north erupted between the government and rebel groups. Toby Lanzer, former United Nations Humanitarian Coordinator in the country.
There are desperate tales of violence. 300,000 people have been forced to flee from their homes.
It's a shattered nation, its infrastructure in near collapse.
Imagine living in a country that has virtually no electricity, where drinking water is a distant dream, where the police force regularly runs out of fuel.
Police stations and schools stand abandoned, hospitals deserted. And now there's a new threat. Bandits, or Zaranginas as they're called.
When they arrive, they start to take hostages and to kill. Yes, they kill.
Captain Gilbert Komzula is in charge of official military actions against Zaranginas in a region considered a bullseye of the bandits.
These people are armed, just like the military. They have AK-47s.
Believed to include criminals from Chad, Sudan, and as far away as Niger, they're ambushing trucks along trade routes, looting villages, and kidnapping people, especially children, for ransom. It's something Justin knows only too well. He was harvesting peanuts with his 4-year-old son when he thought he heard a snake. It was a group of Zarangina, machine guns around their neck.
I took my son. He was on my chest and he put his tiny hands around my neck. He was so afraid. Then he started to weep. When I saw him, my tears started to flow.
Afraid of being arrested if seen, the Zarangina demanded Justin go buy them a stockpile of supplies and haul them back to their base camp deep in the bush. They'd keep his son. Justin ran into the darkness, walking 4 desperate hours to the nearest market. At first light, he loaded up his sacks. And that's when they stepped in. The local self-defense group, including Justin's oldest son, Edmond. The group agreed, Edmond says, it was their responsibility to confront the criminals. With only some 5,000 government troops for protection in all of the country, self-defense groups like this are springing up throughout the north. But their weapons? Bows and arrows. Guns made out of wood, pipes, and scrap metal, often held together by tape or string. With the clock ticking, Justin headed back to the forest and the Zarangina, trailed by nearly 40 villagers.
I dropped the provisions here, and the Zarangina circled me and sat down.
Suddenly, the Zarangina surrounding Justin spotted the villagers, and gunfire exploded. The Zarangina pointed their AK-47s at Justin's 4-year-old son and fired.
He was so little and was such a sweet boy. They killed him. The memories of the dead can never disappear. When I sleep, I may forget, but then I wake.
Hundreds of people have been kidnapped, some 50 killed. Justin says he's just one of too many in agony in his broken country, afraid for themselves and for their families.
I want everyone to know what happened to me. I'm terrified. I can't be alone. I won't even walk with my children. I can't lose them too.
This report was prepared by Andy Gittow for the United Nations.